Well, what's up, everybody? Coach of the your coach of the Honolulu Dancers here, Clone, and today we're here with our Week 2 battle against Redikai of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And there's not gonna be team builder because this is an inter-division match, so I do play him one more time. So I'm gonna try and keep some of my sets, I'd say, confidential. If we play in the playoffs, that's fine. But there will be a team builder next time I face him, I believe. So as far as what he brought, there were a couple mons that I didn't feel like were good brings. Not necessarily bad brings, but I felt like some stuff were better. His team, by the way, would be the Latios, Infernape, Primarina, Nidoking, Decidueye, Licky, Mega Pinsir, Manibus, Excadrill, Gigalith, and Lantern. I felt like the Lantern and Mandibuzz were probably going to come, so I kind of adjusted my prep so that I have better ways to deal with them. With my Zapdos set being I have U-turn instead of Volt Switch, I changed that almost last minute, and I avoided any possible Curse Talk set with my Lax just because Mandibuzz is really annoying if he taunts me and then he Toxics me, so I believe this is a leftovers 4 attack set, Lax instead, which ends up putting in a decent amount of work, but I felt like those two mons were pretty good brings into my team. Licky could have probably came to stop me from a Wish Passing, which would have been pretty annoying, although I don't think Aromatisse was necessarily a great bring in this match, and I thought the Latios was probably going to come just because Latios is the only thing that's able to outspeed my Megalodios if he does not have any Scarfers, I believe. I believe that's the only thing. I think Latios is as fast as Mon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Latios is as fast as Mon, so I felt like it would probably come just because like even Scarf Draco does a lot and it doesn't necessarily have a bad matchup against my team. So lead wise, I thought he's probably gonna lead with Infernape, as he does. It's most he's probably gonna lead with Infernape if he has U-turn, and if he doesn't have U-turn, then it would be okay. The only way this lead Milotic is horrible is if he leads with Decidueye. But I don't think Decidueye is a great lead necessarily against my team. It's okay, but it kind of loses to Registeel if I were to lead it off with my obvious choice with being Registeel or my Zapdos. In both scenarios, it's not amazing. So I led off with my Milotic, as he led off with his Infernape. So I was pretty sure he'd probably just click U-turn here. Probably go into Decidueye. He's either clicking U-turn here or he's doubling into Residui because he doesn't have U-turn and he's special. Because I believe this is a Z-Mom. So Decidueye is also Z. Although I was expecting more of a nasty plot baton pass set into Primarina. Would have been really annoying if he wasn't. If he was like Moonblast, Psychic, Ice Speed, or Moonblast, Psychic, Hydro, and something. Because then at that point Hydro would 2-kill my Registeel, which is my only real way of switching into it. Although I do have ways to revenge kill it, it's still none of these mons are necessarily great at revenge killing it. So he clicks U-turn here, which reveals that he is banded. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a pretty good roll. So I click Scald here because it covers majority of what he wants to go into. Burning on any of these mons are nice, and we had to remake this. And in the original match, I did burn here, I believe. But it doesn't really matter. So I burn here. I'm gonna go into my Snorlax because Snorlax eats everything. He opts to click Leaf Storm, which does a lot. I don't really remember if I calc how much how much special attack he had, but I knew he would not stay in here at minus attack, so I click Pursuit here. Pursuit is solid bring, not just for this, but also for the Latios. Great way to get rid of it. So I click Pursuit as he goes into his Infernape. So here I was pretty sure he was gonna click U-turn, but I wasn't 100% sure. I knew he was either clicking U-turn or Close Combat here. Now, Close Combat loses you a lot of momentum if I go into my Zapdos. But clicking flashbacks here loses you a ton of momentum if you're trying to predict my Zapdos. So, and in both scenarios, my loading is a better mid-ground. So I opt to go Zapdos here because I know he's not clicking a far move. As he does click U-turn. Now, I was pretty sure he was clicking U-turn here, but U-turn at the end of the day does not do that much damage to my Zapdos, so it's a safe mid-ground here. As he clicks it, I'm not static, which I kind of regret. If I was static, I don't think it would have changed much, but anyways, so at this point I think I make a misplay here in that I click U-turn. I wasn't really thinking, but at this point I needed damage on this thing, and I was not expecting Smooth Rock necessarily, but I really needed damage on this if because my win con is obviously Mega Latias, and Calm Minding once puts me in a pretty favorable position, as at that point I'm pretty good to kill his entire team, especially with the Decidueye being weakened, and because Infernape is banded, and I know Infernape is banded, he has no way to really revenge kill me aside from like a Scarf Nidoking, I guess, but Ice Beam's not going to do that much if I stay healthy, and Execute on stand. So weakening this was pretty important, so looking back at it, I would probably click Discharge here, because I do have Discharge, but I end up playing it safe and just going to Registeel. Here I thought, so here he goes Registeel, which was a good play on his part. I felt like he would probably go Infernape just because Neutral Earthquake does not kill Registeel here, and me Seismic Tossing you is kind of annoying because Excadrill does have a lot of HP, so Seismic Toss is not great, but Seismic Toss still puts you in range of a lot of stuff, such as Neutral Ice Beam from Mega Latias. So I feel like Infernape was the better play. So I clicked Thunder Wave here, but I guess both of them make sense. I would probably have made a double into my Lodic here if I was just looking at this again, but or click Rocks. Rocks would have been fine as well, but hey, Rocks probably would have been fine as well. But EQ does not kill here, so I opt to get up my Rocks as he reveals SD. So this was interesting to me. So originally I was thinking that this would be Mold Breaker, even though he brings Sand. I felt like Mold Breaker made sense, just because it stops. With Mold Breaker, you can stop Flame Orb from Milotic, and so, or I mean, you'll still do the damage as if I didn't have a Flame Orb, and so my Flame Orb would be basically pointless. And Flame Orb Milotic kind of walls this, but it's not great. But I do have a lot of defense. Like, I have more defense and special than Spadef investment, and so I have to click Rocks here because I wasn't expecting the SD. I thought it'd be more likely Mold Breaker Scarf or something like that. Probably should have clicked Seismic Toss here, but at the end of the day, these series of turns kind of lose me the game here. So I click Protect here to scout when he wants to click. He clicks Rock Slide, so because he clicked Rock Slide, I was pretty sure that he clicked Rock Slide here, so I was pretty sure I was gonna die here. But he opts to click Rock Slide again to predict my Zapdos, I guess. But I think that was kind of a choke on his part. EQ is kind of safe, so I click Seismic Toss here. But I didn't think I lived there, 100%. Pretty sure I don't live. But I have to click Seismic Toss here. No, here, if I click Protect here, it kind of puts me in a really good position where I only lose one mon to this. But this ends up becoming, but if I click Protect and he SEs again, then it's pretty annoying for my team to deal with. And at this point I was thinking he's most likely, if he's Jolly, then he doesn't kill my Zapdos from the range it's at, so I was comfortable making this play, but this probably lost me the game, to be honest. So I don't click, so I felt like Protect was obvious here to stall another Sand turn, so he would probably click SD here, just because SD gains you more momentum, and at that point you would kill even a Milotic trying to revenge kill you, and obviously you'd probably have speed investment on this, enough to outspeed Milotic neutrally. I'm not 100% sure how fast I know Excadrill isn't that fast, but like it's pretty obvious that my Milotic isn't max speed, you know. But so I opted not click Protect here because I felt like he would SD again, which ends up being a misplay here as he does Earthquake. So I click Seismic the ideal scenario would have been I click Seismic Tox there on his SD, and then I protect, and then I go Zapdos. And then either he outspeeds my Zapdos or he switches out to his Gigalith again, which is at 91%. So, and I'm probably a U-turn there or defog. Probably defogged. But in that scenario, it would probably put me in a really good position to win the game. But at this point, I kind of lose 2 Mons. So I'm forced to go Zapdos here, and hope he's not adamant. But of course, the Rock Slide does kill because he is adamant. No real reason not to be, but there's a chance. So I go Terrakion here. Terrakion can still win this game. But it's really hard for Terrakion to win just because he has so many sacks. So I click EQ here because he has no resist to EQ, I believe. It is banded. And so he goes into his Nidoking here. Sorry, I don't know what's up with my frames. And so if you go Nidoking on a Terrakion, after I'm possibly locked into banded EQ, it's pretty obvious you're Shuka Berry. And so I was pretty comfortable with my load here. Looking back, I probably should have went Latias. Latias was pretty safe mid ground. And it was probably another turn where I kind of lost the game. As my loading being healthy is pretty important for the Excadrill and the Infernape. Although I guess at this point, the way I win the game is to get rid of Excadrill, right? And the Primarina I need some chip on the Primarina, but that isn't impossible considering my lax. Has a lot of SpDef, and my Terrakion can get chip easily because Primarina is the only thing that can take an EQ, I believe. Yeah, Primarina is the only thing that can take an EQ. The Infernape can, but Mach does not kill me, so it does after like 2 sets of rocks, but at that point Mach doesn't kill me. So I was pretty sure. So here we had to remake, and he clicks Thunderbolt here. Originally he clicked Earth Power and crit, which ended up hurting quite a bit because the roll for a Thunderbolt killed afterwards was in my favor. Not by a lot, but it was like a 60-40 roll in my favor. So I ended up sacking just because if he looks Ice Beam here to predict my Latias, it's a choke and I can recover, and then this possibly can win. Or not win, but this can possibly put me back in a good position of the game. So I go off his choke, and then I go Latias here. At this point I've kind of lost, just because there's too much stuff that's healthy, like the Primarina and the Gigalith and the Excadrill. Or the Excadrill is in range of Ice Beam, but this thing is too healthy for me to win. This is where discharge damage would have been really nice, because discharge would have done like 25 or something, and then he would have been in range of this. So I combined once, and then I click Sly Shock because I have it, and does more than anything. So that did 48. So the discharge into Sly Shock would have been able to kill, or it would have been a roll at least. And so this ended up being bad for me as he does explode. So I clicked Sly Shock because I thought he would Toxic first. I was pretty sure he would have Toxic. There's really no reason not to have Toxic. Thinking if he clicks Toxic, if he clicks Toxic, that means he'll force me to refresh, and then you can explode when I refresh, and then that's a guaranteed way to prevent me from recovering. But realistically, explosion does so much damage that being a little bit healthier wouldn't have mattered in the long run. So he ends up going Drill here, and I believe Iron Head kills, yeah, and then Earthquake 2 KOs this. I removed Earthquake on this. I forgot for what. I think my set was Pursuit, Crunch, Earthquake, or Pursuit, Crunch, Return, and I believe a coverage move. I don't remember for what though. It might have been. I think it was Facade probably, but Earthquake does do too much damage, and I don't have Earthquake on myself because I removed it. It was kind of a last minute decision to remove Earthquake, and I believe Earthquake kills here. Should be right. Yep. So he ends up winning 4-0. I'd say I probably made 2 misplays this game, which kind of cost me the game. I kind of tried to play more aggressively by predicting him to predict me, I guess, and SD again. And if those series of turns had worked out, I think I probably would have won this game, just because I would have had either I would still have Registeel for the Primarina, and I would still have, and I probably still would have Zapdos too, because I'm not sure. I have a lot of speed on Zapdos, so I'm not sure if this Excadrill will outspeed. Because you'll probably be adamant, but you'll probably have HP as well. But I really needed some chip on the Gigalith, and so discharging I think was probably my first misplay. Discharging the Gigalith probably cost me. If I discharged the Gigalith, it would have been in range of Slice Shock, and then he wouldn't have been able to explode, and then it's probably been a different game. And then ideally I would have had the what's it called? The Registeel healthy enough, because going Registeel and to set up rocks is pretty dangerous for me. Just because he was able to go either Infernape or Excadrill, and both of them cover anything I can do. So it's really hard unless I were to double into my Lodic. So I needed to kind of keep Registeel in the back more necessarily, and for the Primarina, because that's really the only reason I brought it, to deal with Specs Primarina. And so it wasn't the greatest game I played. I'll be real. I think I ended up playing another game this week, and I lost that game too. So it wasn't a great week for me league-wise, but Mordecai is probably one of the better coaches in the league, so it's not horrible to lose to him. And there's definitely some stuff that I can improve as far as prep-wise to deal with him, because I do play him again, and hopefully I can win that game. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Currently 1-1, and because of the differential of my first match, I have pretty bad differential. I think I'm -4 now, which is not great at all, but hopefully I can bounce back. 1-1 isn't horrible for me. I've been 1-1 plenty of times. I just tend to do bad in my week 2 and week 3 games, like both differential wise, like for a lot of reasons. I don't know why. Like week 1 games usually go well for me, and then like week 2 and week 3 games go horribly. Not sure why, but hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, and this recording is slightly late, I believe, just because due to some real life problems and the fact that I'm in like a lot of leagues right now, and I'm managing a couple leagues as well, so I didn't really have enough time to record this, and so a little bit sorry for that one. We'll try to be more, or we'll try to play my matches more ahead of time. It was kind of weird because I had 2 weeks before I had to play this match, and so it kind of threw my schedule off a little bit, because I was like a week ahead of schedule for this league before this match, and now I'm like 4 days behind. So I kind of like put this league off because I was so far ahead, and then I realized, wait a minute, my battles are due this Sunday, so I'm actually like recording this battle like 2 weeks after this happened. But hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one.